Welcome once again, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, one and all, to a brand new edition of The Quinn Spinn. I'm your host, The Quinn. At least that's how I'm known here on the program, and I'm back here on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, YouTube, and more for another arousing and riveting and very special installment of the official podcast of Underground Music Collective. And this episode of The Quinn Spinn, of course, produced in-house here at Helping Our Music Evolve by Nash City Media and sponsored in my dreams and one day in real life soon by Liquid Death. Murder your thirst.
Love it.
I love all this Liquid Death we have on the stage. It's great.
I know. Honestly, we should have choreographed it and then like
the tap pops.
yeah,
It's like Britney Spears in the Pepsi commercial.
yeah.
Next time.
Yeah,
we'll do another one of these and coordinate that. But anyway, I'm here with the entire lineup for our upcoming NashLive experience right on this stage at Helping Our Music Evolve, Saturday, March 23rd in Nashville. Tickets are available now, and I am joined. I'm going to go start down here and work my way around and let you all introduce yourselves. Joined by Lord Goldie of the Healers, ARREIS, Alexis Donn, who landed her starship outside, just special for this interview, and another healer, Foundation Mecca on the other end. So thank you all for joining. And Goldie, we'll start with you since I started with you the first time. 3 standard questions, as you know, they are. Who are you? What are your passions? And why on earth would you want to come on the Quinn Spinn?
Well, I am Lord Goldie, a.k.a. Charisma, a.k.a. Pimp, a.k.a. Herb. Y'all didn't know that. But anyway.
Nope, never knew that.
My passions are music, weed, women, and freedom. And healing. That's number 5. And
no order.
Why I want to come on the Quinn Spinn? Because it's the Quinn Spinn and you're Gerard. So, it's a great platform. Definitely one of the first artists to ever grace the Quinn Spinn. So I'm going to hang my jersey up there one day.
Fun fact, by the way. Fun fact. This is a record tire for you because you're now tied, and Foundation, you too, with Aaron McClendon for most appearances all time with 4.
Let's go.
We got to beat her.
Yeah.
We got to beat her. We're coming for you, Aaron.
So, Aaron, the gauntlet is laid down. How will you respond? Thanks for coming back, Goldie. ARREIS, you're also a returning guest.
I am. Oh, and I've answered this question before, but honestly, I just love Goldie's answer so much. Our passions are very similar out here, and I would say, okay, so first of all, the only difference is that my name is ARREIS, not Lord Goldie. The second thing is though, yeah, of course, music. That's what we do. We write music to empower and to heal ourselves first, but hopefully by proxy, everyone else. Women, for sure, because like rights and like,
Yeah.
body positivity, sex positivity, religious trauma, taking all that shit and like making it better, within yourself. And then freedom to do all those things, freedom to create. Honestly, like that really sums it up. Honestly, sometimes I go for a run or something, but other than that, it's mainly just the mental exercise that I'm doing,
Yes.
Hell yeah. And then why would I want to be here? Because I don't know, everyone here is a great artist and I want to surround myself with great people so that I become better myself.
Look at that.
Nice.
We're all making each other better here.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for joining.
Oh my gosh, no problem. It's an honor.
Newcomer to the show.
I know.
From
I'm
the Starship
newbie.
Explorer, Alexis Donn joining us.
Yes. Parking was great, by the way, for the Starship.
I
There was
bet.
plenty of room.
Yeah, especially
Yeah.
in Nashville. Parking is always great.
Parking was not an issue. It was super
You
cheap.
picked a great place to land your Starship.
On the building.
I was like, Metro didn't come for you. They didn't tow away your Starship yet.
That is actually a skit we are doing for promo. It's
Oh
like
my
getting
God.
a parking ticket.
That is so funny.
It's
I
a
love
boot
it.
on it. It's a
There's a
boot on
boot
it.
on
Yeah.
That's so funny.
So there is I get a parking ticket. But yes, hello. I'm Alexis Donn. Whoever's listening to this, you get to experience me in my rebrand. I make Barbie space pop music is the best way I can describe it. And I'm passionate about music. I was trying to think of how to phrase this. I'm really passionate of figuring out how like the universe works. So whether that be spirituality or like kind of like getting rid of self-limiting beliefs, I'm just really curious about like life. Like I feel like people aren't often enough like, why are we on this floating rock and what are we doing about it? So that's a big passion of mine. And then I would say like my pets and home life I'm really passionate about. And yeah, keeping my space cozy and nice. That's like a really big part of my life.
Yeah.
And I'm here because you guys are here and
Aw.
y'all the best. So yeah, that's why I'm here.
Heart
Quinn
emojis.
Spinn.
Right.
All the heart emojis.
All the heart
Yeah.
emojis. That might be the title of this episode. We'll see.
Oh, all the heart emojis. That's cute. I like that actually. That's
really
a great
cute.
title.
It is.
Okay.
It is. But should it be something that promotes Nashville? I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out in post.
Logistics.
Thank you for joining, Alexis.
Thank you.
Foundation.
How you doing, man?
Another record-tying appearance.
Yeah, I'm trying to beat that #1 score, man.
Yeah.
I'm very competitive. So whoever you said before in Goldie, it's y'all asses.
Yeah, coming for y'all.
Foundation Mecca. I am 1/3 of the Heru collective, hip hop collective, and I'm 1/2 of the Healers. And I am one of the leaders of a hip hop movement, you know. So basically my passions are healing people through hip hop, as well as my kids, my boys, as well as family, uplifting people, and like really just trying to be myself so other people and get inspired by that. Because I feel like I got something to bring to the world in this floating rock we live on. Also, I'm into tech. Like a lot of people that probably didn't know that, but I'm into like tech, like AI and all that stuff, and playing with cover art with it and seeing what it takes us musically, because I know music and tech is kind of being the thing. So that's kind of like the future. So I'm into like Web3 and stuff like that. But yeah, why the hell will I be on this podcast? Because it's a great platform to promote local artists and get them out there, and also be yourself while on the podcast. And you're a dope ass motherfucker, man.
Thank you.
Hey.
Oh, well, appreciate it. More heart emoji. More heart emojis.
React. You know, like you can just like hit the heart emoji like anytime. Just like keep going. Keep going.
Yeah,
If you're liking this episode so far, leave a heart emoji in the comments.
That's
There we
actually
go.
cute. We should do
right
that.
here on YouTube. Yes. Mhm.
Yes.
Or wherever you're enjoying the show where you can actually leave a comment. Anyway, we're here, of course, in addition to, just create a love fest, to talk about NashLive and what we're doing, March 23rd, again, right on this stage at Helping Our Music Evolve.
Mm-hmm.
And the philosophy behind this is to create a unique live music experience for the artist, for the fan, and create some amazing content out of it as well, which again, our partners at NashCityMedia are doing a tremendous job of taking the lead on. The first question I want to ask everybody here, and, kind of whoever feels compelled to answer this first, what does an experience like this, where you're able to really conceptually create your show the way you've always wanted to create it, what does that do for you as artists creatively? How does it challenge you creatively?
Are you gonna go first?
I can.
I was like, I'm just gonna be like, I got my answer. Hold on.
Well, you go ahead. I go after you.
Oh, okay. I don't want to take Lord Goldie's #1
Jesus
spot.
Christ.
Like again, if your jersey's going on the wall.
Okay.
Okay.
I got you. Well, it goes back to one of our passions, freedom. We get the freedom to express ourselves and to bring people into our world to see what we're all about. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's going to leave here feeling like they know so much more about us as artists and individuals. You know what I'm saying? So that's my answer.
I think, and it's kind of, again, just sort of playing off of that because pretty much exactly the same. But at the end of the day, like, I think what is really unique about this is that just because Nashville has a high saturation and concentration of live music doesn't mean that it's innovative or, quite frankly, like good.
Right.
Like
Right.
I'm just gonna like call it as I see it,
Yeah.
honestly.
Probably the opposite.
And I have been, even as an artist whose passion is music, I can't even tell you how many times I've been bored at people's shows.
Mhm.
And so this is something that is really important to me because you called it an experience. And something that I've always called my show is the ARREIS experience, trademarked, because that's what it is. Like from day one, first show, I have done the costume change. I have I have contorted myself into suitcases. I have been rolled in on wheels to multiple venues. I have been carried in on people's shoulders because I have had intros. I have had, lights and action and and we've rehearsed to make our stops tight. Like everything from music to technicality to stage performance to everything has always been, I want to be the best front man I can be. And I love that. I want to envision the stadium and play every room like it's that, you know? And so like, I feel like a lot of artists, when they play a lot and they oversaturate themselves and spread themselves too thin, they don't get that feeling anymore.
Right.
And so then it comes off as very less connected and less excited and a little more jaded. And I just don't want that my music to ever get there. So finding experiences like this is the most important thing that I think I can do.
Yeah, and I definitely want to touch on that too, because I mean, that's the whole point. You and I have been talking about something like this before we really decided to go this direction with NashLive.
Yeah, no, we have for a long time.
You know, how in Nashville, most opportunities for artists at the independent level are dive bars and writers' rounds.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like,
amen.
How, like, that's not really taking into account like what you can do with the lights, what you can do with your visuals, what you can do to really create like a unique experience that people are going to remember. A lot of times it's just you reach out, you book the date, you don't really hear anything from the venue until like a day or two before when they post the flyer once, and then you go do the show. And
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Like, the whole idea, honestly, and not to answer the question for anybody, was to create that like from start to finish, like, hey, we're working together, we're all in a team environment, we're all trying to make this a success, and we're trying to leave people with something that they're going to remember, you know, both your fans but also the artists, that, you know, the artists through the content can then take forward, you know, that we as a platform can take forward as a proof of concept as well.
Definitely.
And so like it's exciting for me as like the person, one of the people curating this, like to see artists really gravitating toward this idea because like I think it's been needed for a long time, and there's nothing else like this happening in town. You know, you can look around at like at our level, at the independent emerging level, there's nothing else like this, you know? So yeah, I just wanted to piggyback on that, and now we'll continue on. And
yeah. I mean, when I got off the call with you and Breeze of describing what the event was about, I just like had this feeling when I got the first email of like, hey, like let's do this. We're making this gorgeous thing. I was on a plane and I literally wrote down like just all of these details. And I was like, I wonder if this is what they're talking about. Like, I wonder if we can really accomplish all of these things. And after I had the call with you guys, I was ecstatic because you were like, we want to partner with you. We want to bring your vision to life. Like as an emerging artist, like you don't like, I don't feel I've played dive bars. They're fabulous. Love dive bars.
I love dive bars.
But like, I don't feel at home there.
Mhm.
And so it's kind of hard to like bring your full self into something where you're already walking in and like the vibe's a little bit misaligned.
Right.
So leaving that call, I was like floating on air for days because I was like, oh my God, I'm going to do it. Like, I'm going to be able to be myself on a stage and in a venue that like is there to support me. And I'm not there to support them. Not in a way of like, there should always be collaboration. But when you're going into a dive bar writers round, you're so much more like kind of giving versus there being like a balance between like, how can we also help you make this something that fits you and is good for everyone?
Right.
So oh my God, I was just ecstatic.
Kind of to piggyback then off of you is that I totally understand what you're saying, and I understand that misalignment that you're talking about because there have been so many events that I have taken myself into and been 100% authentically me, and it has not landed at all, you know, with like the audience. And it's not a bad thing. Like, I'm really happy that I had the strength and the like mental fortitude to still be myself.
To be able to do that.
Thank you.
Like, that's a fucking gift.
But I have been, you know, comments on Facebook like, why is she naked? You know, like that she's so like, that's so weird. Like there has been so many things that people have told me about, again, like maybe I should tone it down for this gig or whatever, that I've been like,
God, I hear that.
Exactly. That I've literally been like, well, now we're going to kick it up, you know, like, and it might
be naked the whole time.
Right. Exactly.
What did you say? Be more extra. Okay.
Be more extra. All right. Yeah, exactly. So I think that it's interesting, and I appreciate when artists are more sensitive to that. And I think that it can be then more soul sucking is what you're saying.
Yeah.
But nobody has ever stopped me from being me. But I will say that some people have looked at me with the side eye, like, what's happening? Because I just refuse to not do me, you know?
Yeah. And I absolutely love the quote. And this is actually like, this is all like new. Like I've had 2 other performances like in this like rebranded like suit. And the first time I wore it was in a dive bar. And I was like, am I gonna fucking do this? Like I don't and I was like,
Yeah, you are.
Like, well, I committed. I was like, I made a promise to myself.
Yeah.
I'm gonna show up and sing like Barbie space music.
Did you have a
in
trench
the
coat
bar.
Which
before, or you just walked in like that?
No, I gotta get one. No, I had like a pink like sweatsuit.
Oh, okay.
thing.
Yeah, you just like
come
revealed.
Okay.
covered up.
Okay.
where did you play?
I played at the Underdog.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah.
Like, that's kind of like a safe space a little bit.
Yeah, I don't feel like they're gonna they would do
I
that.
wasn't.
That
I
would be
hadn't
weird.
played before, so I wasn't really sure.
Oh,
It was
gotcha.
honestly great.
Okay,
Yeah,
good, good, good.
was-
Yeah.
that- fantastic.
Underdog's
I was
dope.
like, I'll just punch anybody who doesn't welcome you. I'll just be like,
Oh my gosh!
Oh, they-
no, they were
super
so,
hot squad.
They were
Yeah.
they were great, and I was playing at my friend Alex West Side Wednesdays. Like it was honestly fantastic, and it was a really, but also it was a good moment for me of like I was just committing, like I am going to show up however I am. And what really got me in kind of the right mindset for that was Lady Gaga's statement. She said, I play my stadiums like I played my dive bars. I play my dive bars like I play my stadiums. Yes. And I was like,
I love that. I love
okay, yeah. But it is kind of that idea of like, but if you don't have to play the dive, like,
Yeah, if you don't have to, then let's. That'd be awesome
then like,
too.
let's do it.
it.
Yeah, I just thought that was, the coolest thing. And that's what really got me in the right mindset of like, okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this thing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
I love it.
Man, mine was
I
just like
totally understand
reinventing my stage performance because I'm a showsman. Like when I get on stage, so I like to work the whole stage. So I'm not like micing in the middle of the stage and rocking back and forth. I can't do that because I'm just too energetic. I let my music use me as a muse when I'm on stage, and I kind of want to rehearse until I can get to a point where it's second nature and I can just black out on stage and everybody's clapping at the end of it. And I'm like, what'd I do? And I was like, that was great. So, cause I did hundreds local shows in Nashville, like since I was like 17, like African Street Festival to every bar you can probably name that's probably been closed down, to new bars. So I done did a lot of shows, and I think, doing a lot of shows, it kind of like builds up your mental fortitude, like you were saying, and it kind of builds up your like armor. And to me, it's practice because I know I'm gonna get out of here one day and then go to Atlanta or go to another town and I'm gonna be a new fish. But I want to still be proficient in my art, so I'm always use like all my experiences performing as like kind of like a stepping stone where I'm like, okay, I will be playing an arena one day. I will be opening up for a big star one day. I will want to be able to hold my own and be able to hold 60-minute set. If I needed to, and still keep people's attention. So I think now I'm like using live bands in my performances now, and to kick it up a notch and raise the level of the experience, because your music kind of shines a little bit more with live music, and people can feel it more, and they're more in tune because you can literally stop rapping and the band's still playing, and you can literally jump in freestyle and do some improv stuff, and people are like, yeah, get more of that. So I like doing that a lot too. But I think having the experience where people can relate to you, you can make it intimate as you want to. Also, you can create a new world for people to dive into for 20-minute set or 30-minute set. And people can, walk away like, oh, I learned something about that person, or I learned something about myself through watching that performance or something like that. So I think creating these experiences is so important where everybody can actually have something to take away from it.
And you're differentiating yourself all the while.
Yeah.
Not only through the performance, but through the content. And the reason that we chose the people on this stage to be a part of this first NashLive experience is because you all know how to do that. And therefore, it makes sense to give you the opportunity to show what that is at full strength, so you can create a different experience, but then use that experience to grow from here. Use it as that proof of concept to maybe you go put on something like this in a theater or something.
Yeah.
Shoot for the larger venues, like show people like, hey, this is what my full experience looks like. Let's make it happen. Take it to sponsors, take it to whomever might be able to buy into the vision and help it grow. Right. So from your perspective as artists, like how does being able to create this different kind of experience help your growth going forward?
Man. Anybody want to go first?
I think visually, being able to curate your set and knowing exactly what you want, but having the knowledge that it's going to be like content behind it and it will be like packaged where you make short-term form content, because content is everything now, right? So you got to think about content and reverse engineer, like before the show, after the show, how you going to chop it up, how you going to stretch it out for the next 2-3 months and all that stuff. So I think having that knowledge of like, oh, at the end of this, it's still going to be like content I can repost and people are going to interact with it and give some kind of comment or feedback on it. I think that's important too.
I got you.
We all look at Goldie like,
I know. And you.
For me, I think the growth comes with it all. You know what I'm saying? They're going to see the growth in the music. I mean, you know, being the healers, we have a certain expectation about us now just for the name.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know what I'm saying? They're going to see the growth in the music, how vulnerable we are, the growth that we have in our merch. You know what I'm saying? We're going to have some, you know what I'm saying, candles for y'all. You know what I'm saying?
Some
candles.
Yeah.
Some lavender, sandalwood.
You know what I'm saying? Little sage, you know what I'm saying?
Little
Some
sage,
affirmations, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Ooh.
you know, and then, you know, like you were saying with the content, people on the internet going to be able to see all that growth, you know what I'm saying, from their phones, from their computers and stuff. And so it'll definitely want them to come support, maybe, hopefully. Yes, we claiming it. The future experiences that we do, you know what I'm saying? Because I talked to him, I'm trying to get away from doing show after show after show the same way. Yeah, I've increased, you know what I'm saying, doing shows and revenue by including my band. But at the same time, it's time to rebrand and do something else. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's cool. We come, we pull up, we show out, you know what I'm saying? But like making this more, not even scripted, but just giving y'all a subject.
Curated.
Yeah.
It's curated.
Yeah.
Substance.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you see?
That's all I got.
And I think one thing I want to touch on with the content too, because we're already seeing that with the content that's out there. And again, thanks to Emery James and Nash City Media
Blowing up.
helping us
OG.
just elevate that.
Yes.
Like you wouldn't believe. Like we're already seeing like engagement on the NashLive end that we've never seen before because of what's being created from this team environment. You know, the artists are a part of the team. Like the different people coordinating different parts of this and creating are all part of a team moving forward. And like for me, like as somebody who's been a solopreneur for a long time, you know, people have kind of come in and out and like, you know, have helped for certain periods or in certain ways, but like now it feels like we have a true team dynamic more than we ever have within the UMC ecosystem.
Yeah.
And we're all moving in similar directions. We each have our own things. Like UMC is a part of this, Nash City is a part of this, Differently, which is Breeze's brand, is a part of this, Home is a part of this. Each of the artist brands, like we're all moving on a unified front to create something special. And we're already seeing the buzz that's being created when it doesn't just come down to one of us and we're not limited in what we can do. We're creating the things, I think all of us, that we've always wanted to create through this experience.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about, man.
That is what it's all about. And honestly, like it's interesting that you say that because a lot of the times that's where I feel like we all sort of get frustrated. Like, you know, and it's so easy on when you're talking about content and social media for us to be like, oh, that post didn't get 1 billion likes. I'm so upset, you know, like, but now when, you know, when you have everybody that's sort of doing it with you, at least that's a huge insecurity for me is like, I almost fear posting sometimes because there's such an anxiety culture on social media that I'm like, well, what if people don't like it? You know, what if it's not as good as I want it to be? What if they find me annoying? Like, cause I'm posting twice a day or whatever. Like, so I don't do it, you know, but with something like this, it's really kind of brought me out of my shell and been sort of like, okay, well, at least we're all in this together.
Right.
So if we sink, we're doing it together, but hopefully we swim, you know?
No Titanic.
So, that's right. Exactly. So I think like that has really helped me. And also when we're talking about capturing it live, you know, and being able to brand or show your brand basically to whoever through the like live recording. This is so important and so artist centric. Like this is supposed to be fair to us. The problem with all the shows in Nashville is that it's usually your friend shooting your content and they're half in the bag, 3 sheets to the wind, like leaning, like they look so good. And it's like the lighting could not be any worse and my thighs could not look any more huge in your video, you know? So it's like, please stop. So that's always usually a problem. So we got that covered. Everyone's going to look gorgeous. But then also it's the fact that most gigs are not fair in payment, in promotion, in anything to the artists here because they're all like, well, it's exposure because this is Nashville. And it's like, exposing me to who? The same 5 friends that I brought to the last 25 events?
Exposing me to me.
right, exactly. I'm like, I've done a lot of reflection alone on the stage, you know, like in this room by myself. So, I mean, at the end of the day, we are trying to flip the script on that. And it's important that artists band together and are like, no, our content will be good. And not only will our content be good, but we will be able to take it and use it to benefit us in the future. And not only that, but we're going to get paid.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just going to address the elephant in the room is that is something that we all need to start getting more serious about because revenue, our time is valuable. Our brand is valuable. And the more that we treat it as valuable, the more that everyone else will too. You know?
Absolutely.
I love what you said there too. Like if we treat our brands as valuable, they will be valuable. Like I'm just like such a big like manifester. Like the energy you put out, you get right back.
Absolutely.
Like that's just such a fact.
And also like the only reason that people don't pay artists and don't include all these wonderful stages and packages and curated experiences is because they know that people will do it for free because they're not valuing themselves.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Like there's so much of that. There's so much of this like starving artist merry-go-round mindset of I'm broke too. How do we stop being broke? I don't know. Well, let's just keep being broke and complain about it on the internet forever.
No money. Yeah.
The fact of the matter is what you put out is what you will attract back. And if you keep saying I'll do it for free, what drives me nuts as a creator, not from the musician lane, but as a creative professional, is when I see somebody in the EP group saying they're going to give you 500 photo edits for like $35. I'm like, stop doing that. And message to everybody who's giving it away for free out there. You're cheapening the market for the rest of us. I'm just going to say that. But anyway.
Yeah. No, it's true. Say it.
Like seriously. And the same thing for artists, like hold your value. Communicate your value, but also make sure you're putting the work in to bring that value. I think that's really important.
Yes.
It's to like, what are you doing different? What are you doing that's setting yourself apart, that's bringing a unique experience to everybody you touch? And are you aligning with venues? Are you aligning with brands and people that are also focused on similar things, moving in the same direction? I think, just as important as building a team is building a team of the right people and building a team who are all moving in similar directions. And that switch flipped for me, I think, the end of last year into this finally. It's like, if you're operating at a 10, then you need to work with people who are, who there's some overlap, but they're different enough from you in what they do, but they're also operating at a 10. I think my mistake in the past was honestly like operating at a 10 and expecting somebody just coming in at a 1 or 2 to just like match that. I've had so many people want to contribute to the blog and then, or want to be a huge part of UMC. And then, they just, oh yeah, I'll get to it this week. 3 months go by and this week never happened. It's like, but now like we're working with Nash City who, they're taking care of all the video stuff and doing an amazing job. Emery's operating at a 10. Breeze is a force. Like, can we just give some love to Breeze?
Shout out to Breeze. Doing a motherfucking
love you,
thing.
Breeze. Wish you was here.
She is a force, and she has done a particularly amazing job not only in conceptualizing this whole thing, but like really making sure all the details are in line. She is way better at details than I am.
Details. And she's an awesome content creator too, because she helped with the Tiny Desk too.
We love women.
Happy Women's Month.
Happy Women's Month, everybody. That's our show. Okay.
Woo, celebrate the women.
But moral of the story is stop giving it away for free. All of you, artists, creators, whoever, get paid what you're worth, communicate your value, because that's going to help the rising tide raise all boats and create an actual economy to where we don't need to depend on a gatekeeper to make or break us, And that's the whole thing, like I'm realizing with UMC is we can create an ecosystem that thrives whether or not, there's major label influence, whether or not the gatekeepers, say yay or nay, right? But we have to actually start treating it as a business. We have to start treating ourselves as business people. I think a lot of times, like, especially like really young artists will get into it thinking, I'm just going to be a musician. I'm going to blow up and make it because they haven't experienced the industry yet. They haven't experienced the business part of it yet. But you get into it. Right. And you realize like, oh, this is a process.
Also, this whole blowing up mentality is so misguided because even if let's just say we win the lottery online one day and one of our videos gets 2 million views and yay, oh my gosh, we blew up. Where's the money?
Where's the follow-up?
Where's the follow-up?
Yeah.
Where is Mr. Instagram or Mr. TikTok himself going to say, "Oh, I see that you blew up now. Here is your gold star and your record deal."
I'm just imagining a guy with a
I
top
want
hat
to see
and a
Mr.
monocle.
TikTok.
I want to see Mr. TikTok too.
I'm just imagining a guy with a top hat, a monocle, and a mustache.
Right, exactly.
With a big clock.
No,
Gotcha, bitch. Knocked
No,
your head something.
that shit doesn't happen. Like, exactly. You can blow up all you want, but unless you are actually creating revenue, it doesn't matter. They're going to move on to the next person in 15 minutes. That is 15 minutes of fame, and that's all that it is.
Literally.
Yeah.
So the more that we are out in these streets, as probably Goldie would call it, talking about like valuing ourselves and not giving things away for free, that is how you do it. You blow up a million little times before you get, and then you look back and are like, "Oh my God, I'm here." You know,
Amen,
that's
sister.
what happens. And
Yes.
it takes more than just a village to raise a superstar.
Yeah.
You know, it's a whole ass city, you
I
know.
love that.
And to take the New Jersey out of my voice for a second, I understand a lot of people who are doing things for free are doing it from a well-intentioned place, but it's really misguided. They want to help artists, but helping artists means teaching them how to build sustainably.
Yeah.
There's no way around that now. Teaching them how to build sustainably. Another person who I really admire who's doing this is Rain Maida with his Drops platform. I don't know if you guys know about this, but essentially, like, it's built to capitalize on the live experience and the fans who come to create communities without all the rigmarole of the algorithm, being at the mercy of the algorithm.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
direct artist to fan engagement, you know, and he's doing a great job with that, you know, hoping to work with him and that platform, maybe integrating that in a NashLive, because like that's what we need artists to have ownership of their communities, of their platforms, right? So they can grow those things organically without this employee mentality for jobs they don't have yet. Oh, I hope I get signed. I hope I get placed. Like, those things are great. If you have those opportunities, cool. If they're right for you, say yes to them. But in the meantime, what are you supposed to do?
I think the issue in our hip hop community, specifically here, is that I came from a place where we was always like investing in ourselves, but it was more so the promoters just pocketing our money, and like so we gain like trust issues from that. You know what I'm saying? So it takes like somebody like me or Foundation or Emory or somebody else to go back to our community and educate them on, hey, look, if you're gonna spend some money, make sure it's an investment. You know what I'm saying? Like, I call this the Young Dolph method. So Young Dolph, quit calling me, goddammit. So Young Dolph, he did a show with opening up for OJ the Juice Man. Paid $10,000. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if they had merch or not. You know what I'm saying? But that put him on. That's an investment. You know what I'm saying? So even if you out here doing stuff for free, make sure you getting something from it. Like, you know what I'm saying? I might go here and perform for free, but the owner might come and say, hey, you can do a show here anytime and I pay you this. You know what I'm saying? Make sure it's an investment behind it. You know what I'm saying? It might take 2 or 3 of those, but if you're doing it 100 times, then you need to sit down and be like, what the fuck am I doing?
Strategize.
Exactly.
Strategize.
Because ultimately, of course, being wise with your time, I think, is also sort of adjacent to that. Because it's not, of course, not everything is going to pay the bills. You know, not every show. Can I just stand here today and be like, yes, I need $500 for every show, because that would, and I need 10 shows a month, you know, that would pay the bills. But at the end of the day, I know that that is not realistic, but I better be getting something out of this. Exactly. And if it's that I impress somebody, and that means that I get to play again, even if I don't get the amount of money that I necessarily need or the amount of like exposure that I necessarily need, then okay, fine. But yeah, I think that is really wise of you to mention that, because sometimes it's worth doing. But if it's not worth it, you got to be also brave enough and bold enough to be like, I'm not going to do it then. Is I value myself.
Well, I think most of the artists come from a place of fear, like fear of missing out. Like, if I don't do this show, I may miss out on a fan, or I may miss out on content, or I may miss out on this. And it is like, it drives them basically to, like you said, saturating the market and wearing themselves thin, where they don't produce what the value they need to produce.
Exactly.
And you might miss that, but be okay with that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You're not going to get everything.
You're not gonna get everything.
And everyone.
I'm really tired of, actually, specifically, of this hustle culture of whether it be the capitalist mindset or America as a whole or something very large
That's
and
where it stems
systemic.
from. Yeah.
Or if it's, and then we take it onto this micro level where it's like, look, I'm one of the hardest workers I know, but I'm out here and I'm tired. I'm tired of being told if I'll blow up or whatever, if I just make another TikTok or if I just do another thing.
Just make good content, bro.
Yeah, exactly. And
Every day,
constantly.
Yeah.
But like where my best art comes from is experiencing life the way that it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
I am a human being. First and foremost, I wouldn't be a good musician or a good artist if I didn't have these experiences and learn how to empathize with people and learn how to write for their experience too. So like, yes, you know what? It is okay to say no.
Yeah.
Because I know that when the right thing comes around, I would never say no, you know? And it's okay to wait for that too, you know? Because like, I think it's a balance, as is everything in life, but I'm really tired of just this constant, oh, go, 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 go. If you're not blowing up or if you're not famous yet, you must not be working hard enough. And it's like, that couldn't be more of a lie on everybody that I know in the independent music community.
I would also want to bring up, like, and this is a recent epiphany for me that happened right before like the rebrand download last November. But I also want to bring up the law of detachment, because I think what really helped me get like a clear mind, like we're always on this journey of like, oh my God, I'd love to be happy and clear and balanced like all the time, right? But what really helped me was finally letting go of like the gatekeeper. I don't need a gatekeeper.
No.
I don't need this. I don't care if you say this. Like all these things too. So it's like, yeah, saying no to the wrong things is actually allows you to say yes to the right things as well.
Yes.
But like that law of detachment, I feel like a lot of things we're talking about, there's like a plethora of pitfalls available for artists, like mentally and physically, in terms of like what we're talking about. Like, I'm broke. We're all broke. Well, okay, are we always going to be broke? Maybe it is just another TikTok. Maybe it's this. Like, I will say too, I grew up like subscribing to that like discovery myth of like, oh my God, they were just discovered, or Christina Aguilera and Britney Spears, they were just discovered. Well, A, it was a different time, and B, if you look behind the scenes, it's still fucking business.
Right.
It's totally different.
Also, yeah, with the discovery myth, that's so interesting. I'm so happy you brought that up, because there is no discovery anymore. And I think that
you have to discover yourself.
Exactly. Yeah.
Dude,
Right.
it's like what you put out, you get in. Like your reality is a mirror of you.
Exactly.
Like if you decide I'm fucking worthy and I don't give a shit about you guys, and like
But-
I don't care about like these gatekeepers, the second it's like, that's when your power comes in.
Exactly.
And then you don't need them to
But
find
the more,
success.
exactly, if you want to have an event in Nashville that's successful, if you want to have a good career here, you create it for yourself. You throw it yourself. You see the change and you be the change, you know? And so when it comes to this whole discovery thing, I think that there could be, I mean, no, it's not 1970 anymore. And some, you know, scout, promoter, whatever, just like comes in, record label executive, goes to a show and then makes you stop, baby. Yeah. But like, at the,
got talent, baby.
Happen, but like, also, if let's just say one day, like that I am going to play the Super Bowl halftime show, because that's my big dream. I say it all the time because that's what I'm going to do, you know? And I go, okay, so I'm at this super high elevated level. I would love to go to an open mic and be like, I want to make you a star. I would love to do that for another artist. I would love to be a discovery person one day.
Me too.
You know?
Disguise.
Yeah.
Have like a wig on and some
Disguise.
sunglasses.
Oh
and
my gosh,
everything.
I could really be
Yeah,
Hannah
Michael Jackson
Montana.
disguise.
My little kid dream, like finally realize I could wear a wig, and I'll be like, shh, don't tell Reyes. And then they're gonna be, and I'll go watch their show, and I would love to do that,
Yeah.
you know, because I think that should happen sometimes, you
But
know.
you're going to be practicing the Super Bowl. How are you going to fit that in your schedule?
Oh my gosh,
She does it
Yeah,
all.
we're
I
gonna
was
be
like,
practicing too, because we're gonna do something with you.
Oh
so
my
we can do
gosh,
the
I
Super
know.
Bowl
I was
well.
like, we got it right. We got to get that choreography in now. I'm gonna call J-Lo for her to borrow her poles.
Okay.
We gotta,
Okay.
right? We gotta get on
We wanna
this.
borrow her
Usher's
too.
roller skates.
Oh my gosh, I know
my God.
I need
exactly.
to change shoes so fast.
You don't? Are you kidding me? I'm gonna have Lady Gaga right next to me. We're both gonna be playing dueling grand pianos, and they're gonna be
Dueling grand piano.
and they're gonna be just shooting fire out of them. That's what's gonna happen, you know?
I love you. You already got a plan.
That sounds dope.
But no, every little thing that we do, just like this event, is one step closer. We practice one more time until you get that big event. And every step along the way is you putting in a little bit more effort and a little bit more work so that you can eventually be ready. It's like training your muscles. It's like running a marathon. It's like all these things, you know? And I think that I've taken a lot of that longevity mentality into my thought on my brand and my business.
And it's taking those steps intentionally too. Doing it intentionally and not just doing it to do it. The FOMO culture, like all this, like I got to play the show. I'm going to get discounted. Like where, honestly, where I see it, I'm not throwing any shade to anybody down there. And as a matter of fact, I know a lot of people who have found really good opportunities on Broadway, but I think a lot of people go into the Broadway circuit here in Nashville with the mentality of, somebody's just going to walk in and discover me. And it doesn't happen that way. You build the relationships, you build friendships first and then you start collaborating with people. And that's how I've seen it work for people on Broadway, to where friends of mine go out on tours, and go out on runs, from the gigs that they've taken on Broadway. But to expect that like somebody's just going to see you play and come up to you and hand you a deal wherever you are is misguided, and like, so you have to think like as an artist, is that somewhere you want to be? Do you want to be in that Broadway circuit trying to break in as a session player or trying to break in as a touring musician for somebody? Or do you want to do your own thing? And if you want to do your own thing, how can you take intentional steps to create that world? Like everyone here has done such an amazing job of, creating that world, creating that ecosystem within your artistry. Like that is the most important thing is, what are you doing to bring yourself closer to your vision? Because if you're not taking those intentional steps toward your vision, someone else is going to decide what it is for you and you're not going to like it.
How y'all feel about like touring as an artist or versus social media?
Okay. So I'm happy to answer this question. I am I'm starting to become more and more anti-social media and anti-high content because just like anything else, just like how, Instagram and Facebook had to merge because they were failing. TikTok too will fail. And the next thing will fail, will rise and fall and all this stuff. And it's whoever is at the beginning that hits it before they hit it are the people that are then going to run it and profit off of it. So it's all a big game. And it's not saying don't do it. Don't participate in the game. You have to a little bit because otherwise you're just going to be like some rando living out in the woods,
Gotta put the coins in the machine.
But you're
I'm about to do that next week.
Right. Okay, that was a bad example. But then you're going to be, the crazy conspiracy theorist that's going to be in their tinfoil hat, like running around. Like, no, nobody wants that person to be that person either. But the thing is that the more that I grow and the more that I age, I just see the pattern of all of this. I was still born, I was born in 98. My cousins, I wasn't on it because I was little, but my cousins discovered all their bands through MySpace. And and those MySpace bands were huge. And then that died. And then Facebook came and then it died and merged, and so there's all of these things that I don't buy into it as much as I do anymore because to me, I always compare it to the lottery. If you hit it big on social media, it's like winning the lottery. And I think your chances of doing it big on social media are almost just as good as as someone walking in and discovering you. So what I would rather do is similar to what you were saying with your friend with drops and stuff like that, is I love the idea of touring, whether it be independently, just making those connections, going different places, meeting different people. Like my dream for my career is moving to another city and creating a whole little community in that city, moving to another city, doing it that way. But also let's just say I did do really well and I happen to be opening for someone or I am lucky enough to curate my own tour or whatever. I think that is the way to do it because then I get to go out and use what the raw ability that God gave me of my sparkling personality to go, hi, I'm ARREIS. It's so nice to meet you. I love that you're here. Talk to me. What's your name? Do you want a sticker? How did I influence you? What was your favorite song? Well, just so I get that feedback and that personal, authentic relationship with the fans. And no, I might not ever talk to them again or see them again, but I think it means a lot to go up to someone and shake their hand, to go up to them and give them a hug or take a picture with them and be like, hey, I hope I encouraged you today.
And follow each other.
Exactly. You follow each other. You keep up. You see someone else's journey then take off. And the thing is that you don't need 10 billion fans. You need 10,000 dedicated ones. And that is what's going to pay the bills one day. And that is what's going to shape my career.
Shit, give me 1,000.
Yeah,
I'll make it work.
Exactly.
1,000 super fans.
So and I'm absolutely more on the live end, the live interaction, because that is where I thrive. And that is how I have made every fan that I've ever made is not because they just somehow just stumbled across my music was part of their algorithm and the stars aligned,
They might have stumbled across. Don't discredit it. it now. You might have a few people in
Right,
there like,
okay,
I just
okay.
came across her music and I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
And the sparking personality may shine through the iPhone.
I told you this when we were shooting the other day. I was like, I cannot lip sync my own songs. I was like, dude, I sang them. Why would I lip sync to myself? I feel like
Sound like a true singer.
It's, right. It's like out of body. Like I'm like, what am I doing? You know? But no, it's so funny because you're right. Some people, yes, but I think for the most part, my truest fans have come from that authentic, real in-person stuff.
I think like social media, like all of the content stuff is good as like a starting point, as an introductory point. But if you're trying to like foster and build relationships solely off of it, if you're living and dying by it, like you're going to be very limited. Like you've got to get out into the world. You've got to build pipelines, out from Nashville or wherever you are to other markets to build those communities. What we're doing at UMC, like, okay, we're here in Nashville. This is where we're based, but also like we have a very, very strong secondary market up in Pennsylvania. So like at least once a year, we're going to be doing an event up there. As a matter of fact, we may have already announced, depending when I release this, an event we're doing in June which is something we've never had the chance to do before. And I'm really excited about. And if that goes well, then the possibility exists to be able to use that as a proof of concept to do it around the country. I'm not going to say too much about that, but my wheels are turning, but that's the thing as, from Nashville to there, and then, potentially other markets, it's like those are people who are going to engage with you, engage with the brand in real time, and those connections last. There's a couple from Portland, Oregon who came to our event at the Listening Room a couple of years ago, who I'm still in touch with over Instagram because we just met at the bar before the doors opened. We were talking about what we were doing with UMC and NashLive. And like, so cool. I'm hoping to actually connect with them on the phone soon because it's been a while. But like, that's the thing is like, I don't know that, building that relationship over social media would have, burned that in our memories in quite the same way.
Exactly.
So there's gotta be that in-person element. And I think we were all just deprived of it during the pandemic. And thankfully it's back now. So integrate it into your plans because ultimately it's going to be the thing that grows those true authentic relationships. You might have that starting point of your content, but it's got to go somewhere from there.
Because then they have like making content should be more about how you want to present yourself instead of trying to get someone to look at you. You should just keep doing you. Your ideas, your creative spark, that is what should be represented in your content. I don't think it should be pandering to a trend or pandering to get fans, because the more that you stand confident in what you're doing, the more that you attract people to then eventually come
they believe
back
into
to you.
Your message.
Exactly. And if they see you live and they look at you up and then are like, oh, I love that photo shoot. Oh, I love that her voice in that reel. I love that outfit, and then they become your fan based on then your creative vision that you are presenting on social media. It should be like your resume, not like, again, I always think it's so funny because I see so many artists like really doing this like whole like Taylor Swift bandwagon, which again, love Taylor. She is a goddess. I love the Eras tour. I went, it was amazing. Hell yeah, let's go. But the thing is that if you're then going to be making all this content about Taylor Swift and covering all of her songs so that it blows up or so that your reels then are in the algorithm and you get all these views, then like, what are you doing? Are you actually then presenting your art and your music and your content so that people will like you or so that they like your cover of something that they already know,
And there's only one Taylor Swift.
There is.
And the job is taken and nobody's ever going to do it better than her.
Right.
It's done perfectly.
Exactly. But no one is, but then there, with that being said, there's no other Foundation Mecca. There's no other Alexis and her Star Child universe. There's no other ARREIS. Hell no. I would never allow that to happen. I would knock them out. And there's no other Lord Goldie. Like all of our jobs are taken too by us, and just because we don't have the notoriety of Taylor Swift yet doesn't mean that we are have less potential, you know?
Facts.
I also think too, back to like, we are talking about it, but like the touring versus social media, like I think people really underestimate their own intuition. And this is like also where I'm at in my own journey is like really starting to understand the power of it. Like if you feel intuitively like I'm supposed to meet people in person, that I do agree that's completely essential. And in a lot of ways, like social media is like the pipeline that brings people in. And then you're like, here's the reward and here's where you really get to meet me. And that's where you're like solidified. Like I do totally believe in that like audience journey. But I think people really underestimate their intuition. If you're supposed to like hide away in the woods for 2 years and then come out and then do your thing. If if you only want to be on social media, if you only want to do this, like, I think one thing that's really interesting, and you're touching on this with the Taylor Swift, like, or with your Taylor Swift comment, is like the journey looks different for everyone because it's supposed to. And so I think people really need to tap back into like what feels authentic to me.
I think that's an excellent
Like,
point.
It's gonna be different for some people. It is it busking? That's what it's called, right?
Busking. Oh, I love busking.
I'm like, yeah,
So much
there are
fun.
people that like that's where they've taken off.
Yeah.
There are people that got to the bluebird and that's how they did it. People that blow up on social media. There's an infinite amount of ways to get to where you want to be. But I think you'll get there. You'll actually get there, and you'll get there fastest if you just do it the way that feels best for you, and actually be okay saying like no to all the other stereotypes.
Yeah.
I've really, and I could not agree more. I've gotten into so many arguments with people that have tried to tell me what is best for me, and I'm like, you got to listen to me. My strength lies in live performance.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna bet on something, it's gonna be that. If I'm going to invest in something, it's going to be that, because that is where I hook you. It is not. You will never be able to put me on in content that I will feel as good about doing as playing live, you know? And so, but that is personal, and it doesn't mean that everyone has to follow it my way. There's 1,000,002 ways to get to wherever you're going. And that is the beauty and the terror of this journey is like, is you're like, oh, I don't know, is this the right step? But I think that as long as we're marching forward, that's all that really matters, you know?
And case in point with that, where did we meet? One of your shows.
At my show.
And like,
exactly.
We were aware of each other. You had submitted a couple singles. We even playlisted them or reviewed them. But like, that was where I really got to understand what you were about.
Exactly.
And that's why we work closely together now.
Exactly.
Because like, I know who you are, I know what you're about, and you leaned into that strength.
Exactly. And I thank you for obviously for coming and reviewing the show, but also for just being like, no, let's follow up. Let's make a connection. Let's start a friendship. Like, because that is what I want the most. So now I call you and I go, Gerard, I'm looking to play here. What do you got? And you go, this. And then you come to me and are like, I need you to come to this event because I need your support. And I go, I got you, you know, like that is what I want. But then with thousands of people and that they know
ecosystem.
Exactly. That we all know that we could trust each other and rely on each other. But that's me, you know? And I think, Alexis, you're totally right. And I hope I didn't make it seem like I think every other way is wrong or anything like that. Because
and I'm sorry if I made you feel
gosh.
that way. Like,
All right, stop the apologizing, ladies.
Heart emojis. No, girl, I love you more. But no, seriously, I really do think that you're right. And I think that the more that people just listen to it, what's in them is going to be the most successful way. Because also, if you're passionate about that, you're bound to be better at it. You know, if you love creating content, go you.
Yeah.
I just don't. You know, like
it's all just energy alignment. So like, you have a path, and like, even if you go off of it, whatever, you're drawn back to like this core is like my belief. You're on this like core path, and so if your heart, of course, is like, I'm a fucking amazing performer. Like, I'm gonna put all my eggs in that basket, and someone's in your ear being like, no, be like, just watch me.
Yeah,
I think there's a lot of artists that just need to get to that point of like, oh, you think it's different? Oh, just fucking watch me. Just wait.
You gotta listen
buy the
to
nosebleed tickets in the stadium. Like, you just wait. If
Yeah.
you don't want to be on the
Oh,
train.
I love that. Yeah, because that's always, I just got chills. Because like, I always feel that way. I've always been like, you know, even from like being a little kid in school when they were like, the best example is that my only B in my whole life was in penmanship in first grade. And in second grade, I won the award for best penmanship because I went, oh, just watch me. I'm going to have the best penmanship. I won't get a B. Oh, I could never. My name is ARREIS. That's A, you know, like, and so anyways, actually the fun offshoot is that I used to write my name backwards on all my papers in school because I could, and it actually spelled something. And so I always wrote ARREIS, and they were like, stop it. Like, that's not your name. And I was like, but it is. It's just backwards. So my name is Sierra, but don't tell anyone.
Really
Don't tell anyone, world.
yeah. That's gorgeous.
Thank you. But anyways, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, man, you just gotta try different shit to somewhere.
You gotta try different shit.
And you gotta put your heart in it and listen to it no matter what. Because like going back to people saying no to you, you gotta think like RJ 3000 homeboy told him not to do hey y'all. He said your career is gonna be finished. Fast forward, biggest song of his fucking career. Usher hated,
Yeah.
biggest song of his fucking career. Like, it's crazy. Like, people, I just tell people, like, look at those stories. Like, you got somebody in your ear telling you, and I done had my friends, hey, this ain't gonna work. This ain't gonna fuck that. And it go do the opposite.
Yeah.
You know, you do have some little flops in your career. You know what I'm saying? You got to take your lessons with your wins.
Right.
Even
I ain't gonna say losses. You got to take your lessons with your wins.
But also the biggest people in the history of music have had their flops too.
Oh,
Not
yeah.
every song is a winner.
Oh God, wasted millions of dollars,
But
bro.
it's probability.
Oh
You know,
God,
it's probability. You gotta keep throwing shit at the dart. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Just-
yeah.
Just throw shit at the wall
Hell
until
yeah.
something sticks. You know.
yeah,
And the
and
more
then
you
stick
try,
to it.
the more stick
Don't
to
lose
it.
yourself because
Exactly.
we've seen
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I think there is something to be said though too, because I like that story about the bee that you got in penmanship and like it just firing you up. There's something to be said for like just getting pissed off enough to do something. You know, because like in this world of in this world where everything's like, oh well, you just got to be positive and smile through everything. Sometimes the anger is gonna fuel you forward.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And it's gonna
Yeah.
like discomfort leads to change.
Yes.
Discomfort leads to growth, and a lot of discomfort comes with negative emotions. Those negative emotions are feedback that you can then use to make sure you don't feel those negative emotions again, or at least not for the same reasons.
Right,
Yeah.
Right. And so like there's something to be said for that motivation coming from the outside of like, okay, I didn't like this result. What needs to happen so it doesn't happen again?
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
there's positive to be taken from those negative emotions, and I think it doesn't do any of us any good to just be like, everything's great and everything's positive and smiley and happy. You know,
Yeah.
toxic positivity.
I hate
not
toxic
reality.
positivity. And I think that as a woman, especially, that puts
Mhm.
themselves out there in person, online, at their job, wherever really, if I'm not happy, I get so many more negative comments, remarks about what's wrong? Why aren't you happy? And I'm like, because you're acting like a bitch. Like, you know, like just tell them. Like the thing is that I just don't like, and this is literally just happened at like work last night. So it's very fresh in my mind is people like look at me and immediately like they could tell on my face. They're like, what's wrong? And I'm like, I'm just upset. They're like, oh my God, why? Why are you upset? Because I'm feeling my feelings. Something is, I'm allowed to be upset.
Yeah,
Like,
you're a
don't
human.
tell me to smile all the time. God, I don't have time. I don't have the energy for that, you know? Like, and it's not about being some token angry woman that's, you know, fighting the patriarchy or whatever. It's just like, no, I'm a person and I will be sad and I will be angry. And if I use that, it's not personal or driven towards you. I'm just working through it myself.
Right. You don't even need to know.
You don't even need to know. I don't even really want to talk about it, quite honestly. But
So-
don't try and make me feel better because I'm not allowed to be mad. Like,
Right.
and because I have always, like you said, have used probably anger. I always find anger so much more useful and motivating than sadness. And like when I'm in like a real sad mode, I've never got, I mean, I've written great songs, but I haven't necessarily wanted to go do anything with them.
Yeah.
But there is a value to some like healthy anger. And also like not all anger or getting a little pissed sometimes is unhealthy, you know?
Right.
So like, I mean,
Natural.
at the end of the day, like I just really, really want women, especially, obviously everybody, but women to see me and then realize like, oh, you know what? I have been feeling that way. I can express that. I can have that hard talk. I can wear that outfit. I can do all of these things because she did it and she wasn't afraid to do it, you know?
Yeah,
Fuck
I love
society, man. Like men and women, man. That's why so much men getting pitted against women and women getting pitted against men and all these fucking, especially in our community, bro. Like fuck society. Do what the fuck feels good to you. Fuck the judgment. Fuck all that shit. Do you and do it unapologetically.
Yeah.
Every fucking day. With a smile on your face. If you know, if you like butt, if you like tits, if you like crayons, if you whatever it is you're into. Like it with full force. You know what I'm saying?
it. Don't hold back.
You like feet pics, whatever it is.
If you like them, if you like doing it, post it.
Yes, exactly.
Get on the OnlyFans. Make people pay you for that shit.
You might get
you know?
$5 from me for some pretty feet. You know what I'm saying? Few dollars.
You know what? I put that on a plaque.
Yeah.
Hang it in your bedroom.
I'm
Like
definitely
what you
making a
just
clip
said.
out of this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. You like feet pics?
Now we finna sell out now. We finna sell out.
Exposed. Lord Goldie likes
I know. That's why I said in my reel too. I was just like, what can we expect from your show? I'm like, boobs, boobs out.
I like boobs.
That's right,
Yes.
right. And then exactly, Mecca was like, see, it's sold out now. Everyone in Nashville gonna be coming.
Hey, Gerard was posting you and you had like something on your nipples or something like that. And I was like, who is this? I like this person.
That was that basement show.
Them pasties.
That was that basement. I said, yeah,
Yes.
I got to see this show.
Oh
This
no,
is
I was like, oh shit.
amazing.
Yes, she's wearing pasties. No way.
Yes.
No,
yes.
yeah, it's funny. I always
It's
tell
great.
the story of how I got like low key a little bit like kicked out of bus call. Not really. They just told me to put my clothes back on at bus call, but it wasn't even the people that were running bus call. It was the
Yeah.
security guard at Tin Roof.
I finna say it had to be 10 Roof.
It was. Oh, girl.
Yeah.
So, anyways, but I love that because I was literally, if I could do that moment again, I would not have put my clothes back on. I would have had them carry me off the stage and be like, get out. Because honestly,
It would have made great content.
Yeah, what a moment.
exactly.
Talk about going viral. There you go.
Exactly.
That girl gets carried out 10 Roof.
Yeah.
She would have made Scoop. She would have went
All
viral.
that. It would have been great for your career.
Yeah.
Come
But
on.
it really would have. And
Yeah.
also because I let somebody tell me, even though someone else hired me to do my show at Bus Call,
Mhm.
Bus Call did,
Mhm.
I let somebody else tell me what I was all about in that moment. And instead of just owning it and being like, yep, I'm going to be carried off the stage because I'm not putting my dress back on. I was painted head to toe in cheetah.
Mm.
Like my whole body was painted. I had cheetah pasties. I had like cheetah tights. Like it was cool. It was cool. And I was like, look, every other girl in this building is wearing a crop top and booty shorts right now. And for you to tell me that I'm not following the rules because of what I'm wearing versus what they are wearing is insane.
Mhm.
We are splitting hairs between like what is a bathing suit and what is a bra. You know, like
Right.
so anyways, I just was so, if I could do that moment again, I would absolutely have been like, nope, I'm gonna stand right here. And if you wanna, what are you gonna do? Count to 3?
If it's just one person, you might have made him feel some type of way. You know, "Ooh, she got to go. She got to go. I can't be feeling like this. She got to go.
Hey, that's the goal. That's
Yeah.
the goal. I want to challenge people. I want to challenge people's brains and their expectations and their, construct of society and what we all think is real and what's not. Because I'm like, these are all made up rules. You
Yeah.
know? Like,
Exactly. Some bullshit.
So true though. But I very similar to that, but like I think it's actually the most selfish thing you can do to not be yourself, like deny yourself that. Like that's something I've just been like thinking about a lot lately because it's easier to not be yourself a lot of the time, especially with all these like constructs and rules and pressure. So I think the most selfless thing you can do is allow yourself to fully embody whatever that most authentic version is, because you're here for a reason. Like, why would you be here? Like, why? Like, so if you're doing the full thing, there's a ripple effect somewhere.
Yeah.
That like those people you meet at your show, your fan, there's a reason for everything is my thought. So it's like, yeah, you stand up there, you doing your most authentic self, like that is the biggest gift you could give anybody, I think.
Yeah, you want to inspire
she's so
somebody.
sweet. I know. I'm like, I love it. I was like,
She is a star child. Look at
It
her.
is. She's so sweet. You're
Yeah.
so right, though. Like,
She's not from here for sure.
no, she's from someplace
We visited.
way better.
We
We
visited.
visited.
Yeah.
It's also
next
like if
album.
you do believe in like reincarnation and like that's your answer for all the questions that you're talking about, like then you're
Oh,
gonna go
100%.
somewhere else next. Like you're gonna come back as a cat or a tree, and it's gonna be lovely and it's gonna be awesome.
I'd like to be a tree.
Right? That'd
What
be
kind of tree will y'all be when y'all came
So
back?
dope.
What kind
A
of
weeping
tree?
willow.
Yeah.
A weeping
pussy
willow.
I see that.
No, wait a minute. What the fuck, man?
I think I would be. I love.
Willow.
I would be. I think I would be a
Sound good, though.
redwood.
I like that.
I want to be stand really
That's
tall,
really
and I want to
epic.
live in California. Yeah,
I'd say oak or apple.
apple. That's
Apple,
yes.
apple feels sweet, and like I feel like there'd be like a lot of other apple trees I could vibe with.
Yeah, you be in a
Like,
whole
in an
orchard.
orchard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thought about this.
Then
That'd
y'all-
be cool.
y'all
Alfalfa
have beef with the
seems good.
worms?
Like you're pretty
Yeah, beef
steady.
with-
Yeah.
Words.
I'd definitely be a big ass redwood tree.
Okay.
Just chilling for thousands of years.
Exactly. Same.
Yeah.
I think that I could chill with you.
Yeah.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Come by the forest.
Yeah, come by
I want to be buried in a plant pot, so I want to grow as a tree on my
That's
land. And
Oh,
So
that'd
this
be
might actually
dope.
be like a practical conversation for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
that's it.
I'm manifesting.
Glad I brought it up.
Thank God- thank God we brought this
Since
up.
we're here, y'all
I'm gonna
can
work
go
this out.
to the Goldie tree. Well,
The Goldie tree. Let's go. I love that.
Aw.
Yeah.
The magic
Honestly,
pimp
that could be
tree.
something
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
See the magic pimp
You can
tree?
work
Hell yeah. I might
Okay.
I grow a little bit of everything on my tree. You might have might be some blue dream one day, might be some pines. Right. Might be some pears. Ain't no telling. Let's see what Goldie got today. Bring your picnic basket.
Somebody go to tree.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Palm tree, by the way, because
Really?
Hell yeah.
white sand and sunshine all day.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
I didn't
Really
even
good
think about
pick.
palm trees. I
Me
forgot they
either.
were trees for a second.
They are nice trees.
They are
too.
nice.
Yeah.
I haven't seen one in person in years, so I almost forgot too.
I seen them twice this year. They still looking good.
Yeah.
They still looking good.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's not even the high questions. I'm sober. So wait till
No, oh God.
I'll be high for you because
Hold on,
this edible
pause.
show kicking my ass.
Right. I was like, hold on, pause. Let's come back after we smoke.
Yeah,
a little bit and
exactly.
See what, our
See what
answers are that. And
questions
it's like, well, actually, in the Star Child universe, I was like, I can't wait. I would get so lost in that if I were stoned. God, okay. Anyways,
I think I'm gonna have a real large demographic of stoners.
good.
Like that's really.
Well, space. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I mean that I know that. I feel like
Yeah.
I'm gonna get like, because like this is a newer brand, so like around it's mostly like family friends, some like
Mhm.
initial people online. But I'm like, I think it's gonna be a lot of stoners and like the hippie manifesting people, and then some like really hyper feminine Barbie people.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, yeah.
Like I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I think if I had to guess, I'm like, that's where things are gonna shake out. So yeah, I
Yeah.
think a Star Child universe like edibles might be a nice little merch thing.
Okay.
Mm.
I see you didn't
You
talk
could
to
do
Goldie.
Space O's, Space O's with
Collab.
Delta 8
Yeah.
or whatever. Yeah. I love it.
I got you.
It actually may be
Yeah.
conspiracy theorists.
Actually, you might get some of those too, but also I always come in with some hot
Yeah,
takes.
all your
I
fans
don't
is
know if
conspiracy
everyone
theorists.
agrees with her likes. So
I feel like that'll be
hey,
supreme.
we all might get some
Exactly.
conspiracy
Like that.
theorists.
No, yeah, it's like
Okay, wait, Quinn.
What is
Do we
life
have
without
any?
one?
Do we have any more questions?
Yeah, I do actually. I'm just here for the ride at this point.
Yeah, no, for sure.
I'm just enjoying this as an audience member at this point.
I know. I was like, hold on.
No, it's good. I should bring it back on the rails though, because we are coming up on time. You know,
Yeah.
we do have to clean up the room before our booking ends. But I want to ask everybody, and let's start down here since we started at this end before.
Mhm.
In 1 to 2 sentences, what can people expect from your NashLive experience on March 23rd?
1 or 2 sentences. I'm gonna do it in one word. No, actually, I'm playing. But no, healing experience. A chance to be authentically you, as Alexis said. Also, a chance to hear the new songs from the Hill Talk album that me and Goldie are putting together for the world. So yeah, you get the new exclusive unreleased songs. Also, you get to be a part of a dope ass ecosystem, a dope ass family that we built here at home. So yeah.
I would say people can expect a really immersive, glittery, hyper positive galactic set. It is storyboarded. There will be dancers. We'll see if I can learn the choreography in time. Just a really fun, positive space trip is what people can expect.
I don't know if I'm necessarily going to bring something that I haven't. I mean, we're hopefully looking to expand and to grow, but that I haven't been bringing with my shows this entire time. And it is hot takes.
No,
No, soul bearing, just like things that I feel like I can only say in my songs. I think that there is sadness, there's grief, there's happiness, there's heartbreak, there's loss, there is complication. I think I bring the gray feelings where it's not the black, it's not the white, it's not the happy, it's not the sad. It's all that in between things that you haven't figured out yet that I hope that you could somehow relate to. So I'm going to do all that, but I'm going to do it in fishnets. Yeah.
Sounds hot.
Love it.
In the words of Paris Hilton, that's hot. That's hot. Man, for us, it's gonna be like breakthroughs and I'm gonna just say words: breakthroughs, meditation, levitation, affirmations. You know, yoga,
I love this rhyme scheme.
stretching. You know, manifesting, motivation, man, everything meant to uplift you and help you grow.
Yeah. Plus sound bowls.
Sound bowls, yes, yes, definitely sound bowls, sound healing, because that's what music should be. You know what I'm saying? Us as artists, we got a job. We either gonna uplift you or we're gonna take you through there. And then sometimes we ain't just not gonna give a fuck what we do to you. So choose who you riding with, because we trying to, lift the people and heal the people, man. It's time.
Yeah.
All right. Well, before we go, where can everybody learn about you all online and follow the journey?
You can go somebody.
You already speaking?
All right. Well, you can follow me everywhere at Lord Goldie 615, and be looking out on the handles and YouTube and all that stuff for the Healers. We finna rebrand everything, baby.
You can follow me at ARREIS, ARREIS, rising like the star or a sun or horoscope if you're into that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that is going to be across all platforms, really. I'm just ARREIS, all caps on Spotify. I have a big announcement for new music coming probably for the March 23rd show. So that'll be really exciting. But my big project that was out previous to this is Vices. It's that real deep, raw, soul-bearing shit I was just talking about. That's what it is. But I think we're actually going to go into something a little bit more upbeat and hopefully fun era. I think that's what I want to do. I'm just a girl who wants to have fun. So if you want to come have fun with me, then yeah, ARREIS Rising.
Let's go.
You can find me at Alexis Donn, DONN music. Some platforms it's just Alexis Donn, but Alexis Donn music. They're all new, so anyone listening, go give a follow.
Love it. Find me. You can find me official Foundation Mecca, MECCA, and then Foundation Mecca on any other streaming platform. Also, we got the Healers platform about to pop up, and then also Heru Hip Hop. Bless up.
Beautiful. Thank you all for joining us. This has been the Quinn Spinn, 2 N's in Quinn, 2 N's in Spin. You can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, YouTube, and more, as well as on the socials at Quinn Spinn Official on Instagram and Threads, The Quinn Spinn on TikTok and Facebook. I don't really use X anymore, but we're there too. UMCNashville.com is Underground Music Collective's central hub for all things independent music, creativity, community, and more. UMC Nashville will also bring you to most of our socials, except Facebook is UMC Worldwide. There was this whole awkward rebrand. I couldn't get UMC Nashville back, the whole thing. At NashLive shows, you can learn more on Instagram about what we're talking about here today, which is the March 23rd event featuring the Healers, ARREIS, and Alexis Donn. Tickets are available now. Make sure you get them in advance. We are going to sell out, and it is going to be unlike anything you've experienced in Nashville before. We are redefining live music in Nashville, and you get to be a part of it. At NashLive shows on Instagram. It's taking place here March 23rd. At Helping Our Music Evolve.
May I offer something?
Yeah.
Anybody who listens to this podcast and you remember the number 3, your 2 tickets is on me. But you got to remember that number when we post it. I don't know how we're going to do this shit, but I'm giving away 2 tickets.
That's all you need to know. 2 tickets.
What number did I say on the podcast?
There you go.
What number did I say?
Yeah, what number did I say?
Also, there's all the codes too,
Yes.
If you want to purchase your tickets in advance, it's code Healers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Code Starchild and code Vices.
Mm-hmm. And you get 10% off your ticket.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Indeed. Get those deals, baby. We're on a budget.
Yes, bitch. Yes.
And we out.
Rebel 9's all it become. Going to take us out like it brought us in. Grab some muffins on your way out and wash them down with the tall frosty can of liquid death.
Where's your headlight?
I got liquid booty juice. Coffee.
I'm leaving that in.
That's our new merch.
Liquid booty juice. Have you been cleaned out today?
If it gets the booty moving,
the booty's gonna move. All right.
We're leaving all of this.
The outtakes.
Right.
All right, bye everyone.